Good day, and thank you for watching. If you are involved in a family law case in California and you believe your child is in immediate danger, there is something you need to understand. There is a legal process for emergency custody orders. These are often called ex parte orders, and they are not granted lightly. An emergency custody order allows the court to make immediate temporary decisions about custody without waiting for a full hearing. But here's the key. You must show that there is an immediate risk of harm to the child. Not a disagreement, not frustration, not a parenting difference. The court is looking for something serious. Let's talk about what that means. Examples may include situations involving abuse, neglect, threats, substance abuse, or a risk that the child may be taken out of state or out of the country without permission. These are the types of circumstances that may justify emergency action. Here's where many people make a mistake. They believe that because something feels urgent to them, the court will treat it as an emergency. But the court has a very specific standard, and if that standard is not met, the request may be denied. Now let's talk about evidence. If you are asking the court to act quickly, you need to provide clear, specific information. That may include declarations, documents, messages, police reports, or any other evidence that supports your claim. General statements are not enough. The court needs to understand exactly what is happening and why it requires immediate action. Another important point is notice. Even in emergency situations, there are rules about notifying the other party. In many cases, you are required to make a good faith effort to inform them of your request. There are exceptions, but those are limited. This is a legal process and it must be followed carefully. Now let's talk about what happens after an emergency order is granted. These orders are temporary. They are designed to address an immediate concern. The court will then schedule a follow-up hearing where both sides have the opportunity to present their case. This is where preparation becomes critical. What you present at that hearing can determine whether the temporary order becomes something more long-term. Here's another area where people make a mistake. They focus only on getting the emergency order and not on what comes next. But the follow-up hearing is just as important. You need to be ready to support your position with evidence and clear arguments. Now let's talk about strategy. Emergency custody requests are serious. They can change the direction of a case, but they can also have consequences if not handled properly. If the court believes that an emergency request was made without sufficient basis, it can affect your credibility. And credibility matters in family law cases. The court is evaluating not just the situation, but also the parties involved. So this is not a step to take lightly. It requires careful consideration, preparation, and a clear understanding of the legal standard. Now let's address timing. In true emergencies, time matters. But acting quickly does not mean acting without preparation. You still need to present your case in a way that meets the court's requirements. That balance between urgency and preparation is critical. Finally, let's talk about the bigger picture. Emergency custody orders are one part of a larger case. They address immediate concerns, but they do not resolve everything. Long-term custody decisions will still be based on the best interest of the child. That includes stability, safety, and each parent's ability to provide care. So even after an emergency order, the case continues, and how you handle each step can affect the final outcome. In conclusion, if you believe your child is in immediate danger, California law provides a way to seek emergency court intervention. But that process requires more than urgency. It requires evidence, proper procedure, and strategic thinking, because the decisions made in these moments can have lasting effects. If you're facing a situation involving your child's safety, take the time to understand your options and act carefully. Call us at 888-888-6582. I'm Vince Davis, and we are all in this together.